Happy Friday, everybody. It's your chamber check-in day. And today I'm honored to be able to speak with Casey Jones, Senior Planner of Desman Design Management. Hi, Casey.
Hey, Paul, how are you today?
I'm awesome. I love that little snow we had. I'm excited to head up to the hill tomorrow. But just like in Boise, right? If you don't like the weather, wait 5 minutes because it'll change.
That's right. Perfect spring season.
Yeah. Well, hey, I met you recently at one of the chamber's committee meetings, the transportation committee meeting to be exact. And as I was looking at all the attendees, I came across you and I thought, what is Desman? So we reached out to each other and we scheduled a call, and I got to find out a little bit more about what you do. And then this is a great opportunity, these check-ins, to help gain a little bit more awareness and exposure for your business. But with that, why don't you tell me a little bit more about what Desman is and what services you provide?
Sure. Well, first of all, Paul, thanks a lot for having me. I really do appreciate it. Chamber's fantastic, and we're really excited to be a part of it. So, believe it or not, there is an industry, a whole industry of parking and transportation professionals, of which Desman is a part. We are specialists in parking, and that means we're architects, we're engineers, and we're planners, and we only focus on parking facilities and transportation projects. That's really all we do. So in a way, we're kind of like the orthopedic surgeon might be to a general practitioner in the medical field.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, let's dive a little bit deeper. When did this company start and why?
Yeah, so the company goes back to 1973, and an engineer and an architect, two guys that were pretty early on in their career, said, you know what, there's a lot of really good things that we can do to help cities build better parking facilities and address their transportation issues. So they built this company, right? Out of their apartment and grew it to what it is today. So we've been around for the better part of 45 years or so, and have had 5,000 plus projects across the country and even internationally. Just again, focused on parking facilities, designing, planning, helping equip, restoring parking facilities so that they can last, so they can contribute to economic and community vitality, and so that it can be an additive part of the communities that they serve. So that's what we do. We're 100 strong, people that are across 9 different offices across the country. We're a national firm, and really, that's what we are: architects, engineers, planners, focused on really great design and practical solutions for private and public clients, so that they can, if parking garages are something that they need, then we'll help them design them and take care of them so that they can have a long-lasting life.
Well, I'm lucky to be able to work in this position with the chamber, and I get to learn about all the different businesses that are here. And yours specifically was interesting to me because I'm like, parking garage, you got layers of it, and people always complain about parking. And I always think we've got so much parking here, but I guess it's not, you're not going to pull up right next to the business and walk in. But, around this community, there are so many different places to park, and the access, I feel, is really easy. It's a walkable city. So is that some of the stuff that you guys help cities plan, is maybe how to get from parking garage to retail store to ice cream store or whatever? Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, absolutely. And it might surprise you that a firm that, designs and builds parking facilities might say, listen, not every situation requires more parking. And, in a place like Boise, our paradise, we don't want to pave over it, right? So that's why, I told you about that history where, we had an architect and an engineer, and over time we've added transportation planners and people like me who understand how cities work, who understand how universities work, and So it's really a holistic way of looking at it. We want, community and economic development to thrive. That's the main purpose. People don't park just to park. So understanding that, approaching challenges in mobility and transportation with that mindset allows us to help our clients come up with the very best solution. And oftentimes it's just making the systems that exist, the parking systems and resources, more efficient, right? So there are going to be times when parking supply needs to be added for sure, and we're seeing that in the valley now. But there's a whole lot that we can do well before that point, so that we're using our transportation resources as efficiently and effectively as possible, and getting the most life out of the investments that we've made, right? These facilities in the built environment require care and feeding. So, having great restoration programs and really knowing what to look for, how to help a parking facility evolve through its life and be as useful through that whole period, it could be up to 100-year time frame, is really what we're focused on. So it's not always just about building parking. In fact, that's very often the last thing that we do. But to get to your question, you're absolutely right. It's really taking a whole holistic look at it. How do we help communities thrive and achieve their goals? How do we help a developer achieve the goals for their particular development by maximizing access and mobility, and taking advantage of the resources that exist, building that facility in a way that fits in the context of that community. So it isn't an eyesore. It isn't a scary place. It's a place you want to be, and it really the whole experience, whether you're coming downtown or wherever you're going, is positive right from the get-go, from your parking experience all the way to when you leave for home.
There's a couple of examples of that I've seen on Fifth and Myrtle, where the parking garage went up there. It's the Fowler building, and how they've designed it so you can access the park right across the street. And I'm not sure, I didn't follow it all the way through, but there was a thought about that where you could park. There was actually a way to connect to the zoo right there. And then again, in our building where we're seated now, it's this Pioneer Crossing. And there's a great big wide path that goes all the way to the Greenbelt and River Street there along the river. And I like it because the access to the Payette Brewing. But it's really neat to see that people like you and your company are thinking of ways of connecting and accessing recreation from city to river. I love that. Anyway, tell me more a little bit about the Desman culture and why you're here in Boise.
Sure. Well, let's take the Desman culture first, and then we'll give you Casey Jones' history and why Desman is here. But being about it, there's a lot of other companies that are in our space, right? Lots of firms that are much bigger, and the size of our firm really gives us an opportunity to give great care and service. We don't have junior members. In fact, one of the things about our firm that's really special and unique is the tenure. The people that are with our company, it averages 25 years, and that says a lot about what a great place it is to spend your work life. But it also, really provides our clients with a level of stability, right, and certainty and expertise that that maybe other firms that have junior folks and that just can't provide. So the Desman culture. So Desman stands for design management, and that's a philosophy that really describes the intersection between sort of technical capabilities and sound, sort of technical solutions and creativity and innovation, right? We are very good at listening to our clients and their needs and problem solving. That's really what we do. I often think about and talk about, the things that work here in Boise aren't necessarily, perfect for for Denver or for Spokane or for San Francisco, or, and so understanding what's special and unique about a place and designing solutions around that uniqueness is really what we focus in on. And again, the sort of design management idea is that we are solving problems. We are, and now what we're really focused on is helping our clients look around corners. So you're really solving problems before they ever manifest. And that's one of the things to answer your second question about why Desman is here. Now, I personally came here over 11 years ago to work at Boise State University running parking and transportation there. I was really attracted to the quality of life. What a great, vibrant community Boise and the Treasure Valley really is. Proximity to outdoor life and all the things that you and I shouldn't tell to people that don't live here, right? But we are on a trajectory for significant growth, and so Desman sees our role here in the Valley as helping not only the public sector but the private sector folks, design solutions for now that are going to help us manage that growth in the future. So that's really why we're here. It's a fantastic place to live and raise your family, but at the same time, there's a lot of work in front of our community, and we think we have the right mindset, we have the right size, we have the right specialty to really help guide a meaningful future and address parking, transportation, and mobility challenges before they are too great.
That's awesome. Yeah, you're absolutely right. This is an emerging metro, and we need more companies that are thoughtful like yours to help us grow correctly, right? Hey, one thing on your website that I saw that I'd love to learn more about in a little bit of the time we have left is green parking. Tell me more about what that is.
I'm glad you asked that, Paul. That's a fantastic question and something that I'm really proud of in my career and what my company does. I describe myself as a parking apologist. So thinking I didn't go to school to be a parking professional. I sort of backed into it through economic and community development work in a handful of Northwest cities, but transportation and parking kept coming up as issues. So it was challenging, and but I looked at how we were building parking facilities and operating them, and was joined by a small group of people that said, you know what, we can do better here. Thinking ahead, right? Thinking about our children and our grandchildren. We need to design these facilities so that they contribute to the sort of environmental sustainability goals, but also are built in a financially sustainable way as well. And thirdly, that they contribute to the human experience, right? So there's really three legs to that question, that stool, if you will, about sustainability. So we put together a framework, actually, a standard. You may know U.S. Green Building Council's LEED standard for buildings. Well, there wasn't an equivalent for parking garages. And we came together and made one in our industry, created it. And Desman was one of the leaders in that effort. So now we have a standard that we can apply to parking facilities that are designed in a sustainable way that contribute to all of those people, planet, and profit sort of desires. And so Desman, since then, and that's been the better part of a decade ago, has built, designed, and built some of the most amazing and sustainable parking facilities that exist. National Renewable Energy Laboratory in Golden, Colorado is one of them. It's a net zero building, and it's an amazing facility, right? That is just the antithesis of what we have come to think of in parking garages being a detriment to financial or environmental sustainability. So we've really turned the corner there, and it's a cornerstone to what Desman does today, designing facilities so that they're additive to sustainability and not take away from our, so I think what our emerging shared goals around, taking care of our environment and building in a way that's, financially feasible, because that's another piece of the puzzle in sustainability.
I think it's great. And I look forward to seeing more evidence, tangible evidence of your work here in the Valley. Just keep in mind, Idaho trucks are driving in these parking garages. So I like to be able to turn without having to really pay attention to what I'm doing.
You got it, Paul. We'll build a Paul Fleming facility just for you.
My antenna hits the curb on the top all the time.
We might drive the same vehicle.
Hey, thank you so much for taking the time to help me understand more about what you guys are doing. Thank you for your investment in the chamber. It means a lot, Casey.
Well, Paul, thank you for the opportunity. And again, it's a real privilege for us to be members. Just a fantastic organization that we get so much out of. So we're in it for the long haul, my friend.
Thanks, man. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the snow while it's there. And next time we see you, let's make it a cheers when we can gather in person. It's getting closer. It's getting closer, Casey.
Sounds good, Paul. You enjoy your weekend too. Thanks a million.
Bye-bye.